Welcome back, welcome back. We just couldn't stay away. We are here for Volume 1, Episode 2 of the Daily Planet Review. I know we haven't done one of these in a while. I am one of your co-hosts, Marcus Flowers, aka Flo, aka Call Me What You Want, just don't call me lazy. Find me at one Marcus Flowers on all social media platforms, and I am joined by
Y'all know who it is, Metro Meta, the one who rises above everything else. And how you doing today?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. I actually am it's March Madness. I'm watching my bracket go up in flames as we speak. So a little ticked off about that. But other than that, all is well. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. I mean, the Overwatch finals are happening right now as we speak, and well, my predictions aren't going as well as I had hoped. Oh no, yeah.
Okay, well, if you would like to hear Meta's Overwatch predictions, make sure you check out the latest Dust Off the Cartridge podcast, which dropped yesterday. Also, we had a Super Flow Bros that dropped yesterday, so make sure you check those out. But we are here today to spoil review, in my opinion, one of the, let me say this right, one of the top five greatest cinematic
Oh no.
movies ever.
Oh no, no, absolutely
Captain
not.
Marvel.
Oh no, no,
Name four
no.
movies better than Captain Marvel.
Let's see. Scott Pilgrim
Not
versus
good.
the
Not
World
better.
is
Not
it is
better.
better.
Not
It's
better.
way better.
Not better.
Baby Driver is better,
It's
and it
not.
has
Baby
Kevin
Driver
Spacey in
was
it.
stupid.
That is facts.
Oh, so you
Look,
like movies starring rapists
I
and
like good
oh. I
movies.
see how you give it up. Oh, okay. That's only two more.
All right, let's see.
Uh,
Do you want MCU movies?
Morgan,
Because Avengers is
you
better than
keep on
this.
making excuses. You haven't given me two movies.
What are you talking about?
You
I
don't.
gave you Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which is
I
better
said
on editing
four.
alone.
Okay, I said four. You've only given me two.
All right, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Avengers is better than this. Okay, I liked Aquaman better than this
Oh
already off the
no,
bat.
oh no.
Wonder Woman is
Aquaman.
better than
No,
this.
Wonder Woman was
Okay,
not better than. Who was the
Wonder
villain?
Woman was
Who
better
was
than
the
this.
villain in Wonder Woman? Do you remember?
It was Ares.
What? Okay. Do you remember what Ares looked like?
Yeah.
Horrible. The CGI on that was terrible. The last act of the movie was horrible.
Wonder Woman was better than this,
It was not.
and
It
also
definitely was
Frozen
not.
is better than this. Okay,
Frozen was not better. Wonder Woman
it
was not better.
was.
Aquaman,
They
damn
were.
sure was not
Marcus,
better.
Marcus,
No.
Marcus, Marcus. I don't care what you're saying. Captain America, it's
You
a
know
good
what?
movie. It's nowhere
I
near a
think I might
cinematic classic.
mute your mic. So how about that? Anyway, so we are here to spoil review Captain Marvel. So let me pull up Captain Marvel's IMD. Well, first of all, Morgan, beforehand, how did you feel about Captain Marvel before it released?
I was a bit ambivalent to it. Like, I'm not as much of a, as many people know, not as much of a Marvel fan. And honestly, I like Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, more than I like Captain Marvel. So I wasn't super excited for this, but I thought it was going to be at least a good time.
Okay. So yeah, beforehand I was very excited for Captain Marvel just because um it's uh it's the first female led Marvel superhero movie in the MCU. I feel like it came at right at the perfect time. I feel like their lead up to it was excellent with the trailer release on the anniversary of the Air Force, which Carol was a part of the Air Force. We also had it release on International Women's Day, so I feel like that added a bit more pizzazz to it, and it made it feel like it made Captain Marvel feel like a comic book event, which is what I really liked. So let me read the synopsis. Captain Marvel is an ex- extraterrestrial Kree warrior who finds herself caught in the middle of the intergalactic battle between her people and the Skrulls. And the Skrulls living on Earth in 1995. She keeps having reoccurring memories of another life as U.S. Air Force pilot Carol Danvers, with help from Nick Fury. Captain Marvel tries to uncover the secrets of her past while harnessing her special superpowers to end the war with the evil Skrulls. So I must say, one of the just off the bat, one of my favorite parts of this movie was the misdirection that we got from well, the double heel turn that we got from the Skrulls and the Kree. So we definitely got the which I liked, and it was very unexpected. I did like how the Skrulls turned out to be the good ones, while the Kree turned out to be bad. That was just one of my favorite parts. I also liked how they gave Carol's best friend. She was more than just a sidekick. She was her own character, and not only did she help Carol refine herself, but she also pushed her to new limits and the further, faster, flyer. That was the slogan of the last run of Captain Marvel by Sue Kelly Thompson.
If I had to point out my favorite part, it would just be just a relationship between Captain Marvel and Nick Fury. Just Brendan Lawson and Samuel L. Jackson, they really sold that relationship, and I really got that they had developed a friendship, and I'm excited to see how she deals with the fact that Nick Fury is gone in Endgame.
Yeah, it was interesting to see Nick Fury not as the Nick Fury that we know of today. He was basically a babbling buffoon, and he was basically a pencil pusher, and he wasn't the master manipulator that he is today. So it was very good to see another side of Samuel L. Jackson. However, I will say that ooh, there's that fight scene where he got into it with the Kree, and although they used the de aging process, Samuel L. Jackson definitely looked like a 50-plus-year-old man getting beat up. Ooh,
Let's
that was
not
rough.
act like Samuel Jackson alone doesn't look very young though.
So Samuel L. Jackson is 70 years old, and
Yeah.
in that fight, he definitely looked like it. It was, whew, that was rough. That was that was tough to watch. I don't know if he did his own stunts, but I was just
I
like, "Yo, my
I would
man,
hope that Marvel
my
wouldn't let
man."
him do that.
I said, "My man, what are you doing? You ain't got it. You don't have to put your body through this." Another thing that I also liked was Stan Lee's cameo. I felt like it was perfect. It was a perfect ending to the creator of Marvel Comics. I felt that it
That's not his
fitted
last one
perfectly.
though.
Oh yeah, that's not. But
Is Spider-Man: Homecoming?
what?
Yeah,
Spider
not
Man
Spider-Man:
Homecoming already
Homecoming.
came out.
Spider-Man. What's the next
Okay, all right.
Spider-Man?
Anyway, regardless, Stanley's cameo in Captain Marvel was perfect. I felt like it fit. I felt like what he did was amazing. So it was that was very dope to see. I also enjoyed how how at the end her handler or her mentor tried to basically mansplain her and was like, debate me, debate me. You don't gotta fight, you gotta debate me. And in return, she just backhanded him, which was very dope.
Yeah. So we should probably get into the overall stories. So Marcus, what I want to say like how did you think you know her origin better? How well do you think they handled her origin and fitting her into this universe?
I feel I feel like her origin fit in perfectly. I feel like it made the most sense considering where where she's from and where she was created in the comics. I feel like they blended it in. Just it felt right at home. There wasn't really too much of a change from her origin, from her recognited origin in the 1980s to her from the one in the film. Um, yeah, it was done very well. I was actually surprised that they did it this well.
Hmm. So for me, I did feel like their origin was very good. I could see everything moving along, and I could see how she get to where it was. I'm very, I like happily surprised. I'm very interested in how well they were able to fit this into the MCU timeline, since they did have to go back and tell this story. I know me and we both debate whether or not they should have called her before, but I think they did set it up very much so to explain how certain things got to be the way they were. We got to see the beginning of the Avengers Initiative, which thankfully got a better name than what he was originally going to call it. And we got to see the beginnings of where the Tesseract was. And just at the end of the movie, as I was walking out the movie theater, I had a discussion with this man about like the path the Tesseract took to get to where it was at the end of Infinity War. And I think the fact that you could trace that path and it still made sense was a monumental step and monumental use of writing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, definitely. I agree with all of that. So what did you necessarily not like about the movie?
If I had to give a few criticisms that I would say, I think I have about three. The first one was her big in battle fight with the Kree, where she's fighting off her Kree team and they play that girls song or whatever. I don't know if do you remember that, Marcus, on the ship?
Yes, I do.
That scene was awful. They should not have played that song. That scene would have been better if they had just taken out the song. They were trying to do, I guess, a Deadpool style type of fight. I don't know what they were going for. That song did not need to be in there. It wasn't very good. The other, the only other thing I would say, and you might not agree with this as much, but as I was thinking about the movie, I was thinking about where was like her hero moment, or like that moment where she stands up and says like, this is me, I'm gonna fight for these people. And I was thinking about the movie, like the best example I could give would be like in Wonder Woman, where she stands up and goes towards no man's land, or when like Batman's like putting on the cowl, and like you get that moment where they're standing up. But because Captain America is like so powerful, I never really felt like she was all that much in danger at the end of the day, so it
Bruh,
didn't feel like she was standing up.
it was when when she fought off the spaceships when she went supernova and was like, "Hey, I'm protecting
But
Earth."
that wasn't a hero moment. She fell out of the ship and then started flying and screaming and shouting happily like she was Iron Man halfway through a suit flight
No,
scene.
she was breaking down the ships. What are you talking about? She was busting the ships, destroying the ships. That was her hero moment.
That's not a hero moment. That's a badass moment. Hero
So
moments
now,
are you standing when nobody else will. That's what it means to be a
who
hero.
else would have stood and fought those spaceships, Morgan?
That's just because she was there. That's
Morgan,
not because
who would have? Okay, in that world, who else would have said, "Yo, I'm gonna stop these spaceships"? Who else but
anyone
her?
who could have.
Who?
But that's
Who?
again,
No.
that's something
Okay.
anyone with their powers in that situation would have done.
No.
It's not
You
something that
can't.
I
You
believe.
can't just say that. Like
Yes, I
you
can, Marcus.
can't.
I can guarantee you, if I gave you her same powers and put you in that same place, you would do the same thing.
I definitely would not do that at all.
You definitely would.
No, I wouldn't. I know myself. I would not. I would not do that. A lot of people wouldn't do that. I feel like you don't know the world, so
I don't know the world. I've seen all the movies.
No, I feel
There's
like you
no
don't
world to
know the
know.
real world. Like, not everybody is going to stop the spaceships. Not even everybody on that Earth would have stopped the spaceships. Do you think Loki would have stopped those spaceships?
If Loki wanted to rule the world, he would have.
No, he wouldn't have.
And again, Loki's not human
Loki
though.
would not have done that. He would have let the spaceships destroy the Earth and then take what was left and make a
No, he
deal with.
wouldn't.
Yes,
He
he
would have
Morgan.
made a
Yes, he
deal with
would
them
have.
before the ship.
No,
He
and
would have
then,
made a deal with them before they got there, because nobody wants a bombed out planet, Marcus.
Morgan. He would have made a deal before them to bomb the ship, just like with the aliens and Iron Man and the Avengers.
Exactly.
What,
But he would have,
Morgan?
if you had
I'm
made him
right.
Captain
What are you
America.
talking about?
No, I'm just saying I don't feel like I ever felt like she was standing up. I felt like she was just there.
No, she was definitely standing up. Who else was standing in that gap?
Her best friend, you know, the one that went to space to fight aliens she just found out about and fly a ship that she hasn't flown in years, all while missing her daughter? You're telling me that she didn't put things on the line?
Okay,
You're telling me
Morgan,
that she would have done the same thing?
You're definitely,
she definitely fought those
okay.
ships.
You're definitely moving the goalposts. What's wrong with you? I didn't talk about the
How am I
sacrifices
moving
her
the
friend
goalposts?
made. I talked about
You asked who else would have. No,
no,
you asked
Morgan.
who else would have
She
stood
would
up.
not
I
have
gave you
done that
example.
because she didn't have the powers to do that. If she would
If
have
she
stood
had
up,
the
she
power,
would
she
have
would have done
died.
it.
No, okay, you're talking about what ifs. I'm talking about like reality in this movie. She did not have powers. So she would not have been able to stand up and be like, "Hey, don't destroy the earth." She would have died as well. So this is what I'm saying. That was her hero moment. Her going supernova was her hero moment.
And I'm saying I don't feel like it was a good enough of a
It,
superhero moment.
it was. So another thing that one thing that I didn't necessarily like was how they just saved that one family of Skrulls. I feel like that's a good thing. Well, it's not a good thing because not all Skrulls are good, and I feel like this is going to set up Secret Invasion for Phase 4.
Maybe, but like the Skrulls said that they were basically just refugees trying to hide out on planets.
Yeah, but not all Skrulls are refugees, so there's some evil Skrulls out there. We'll probably see them in the future.
Other thing that I just remember what didn't make sense was Ronan when he said we'll come back for the girl. That made no sense.
He's gonna come back to capture her. Why? How does that not make sense?
Because he's dead.
Is he?
That's Ronan from Galaxy.
Is Ronan
One.
Is Ronan dead? When did he die?
Yes. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, he was the Ronan with the hammer.
No, I know.
He definitely died at the end of that. They blew him up with like the Infinity Stone or whatever.
Hold up. Let me look this up. I'm not remember this. Okay, but you have to remember that was also 1995 when that happened. So before the Guardians even got together. So
I'm just saying, like, if you're writing retrospectively, that line makes no sense.
why does it not make no sense if it was before everything else?
Because he never went back for her.
Okay, he didn't have time because he died, Morgan.
You act didn't have time. It's been 10 years. That happened in 1995. What year is the Marvel Synopsis?
You act like he spent his whole time just trying to come back and get here. No, he had other things to do. That wasn't on his. That wasn't top on his.
What was Ronan doing better than going to get her?
On the top of his priority list.
How was it not? He was charged by Thanos to go find the Infinity Stones.
Exactly.
Right?
He wasn't charged to get a weapon. He was charged to find the Infinity Stones.
And he found one in the Tesseract on Earth, and then he said that she was more powerful and more important than the Tesseract and left, and then he just gave up. That's what happened.
You don't know if he gave up, Morgan. We don't see him until Guardians of the Galaxy.
I was just saying.
Okay, you're definitely
the line made no sense.
Okay.
No, the line didn't make sense.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
About a 7.
I would definitely give it a 8.5. So that is our quick spoiler review of Captain Marvel. I mentioned this before, but make sure you are following us on Twitter at 26thg. Follow us on Instagram at 26 and Glencoe. Like our Facebook page at 26 and Glencoe Media Network. Like us on YouTube at 26 and Glencoe Media Network. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on all those platforms. Make sure when you are on YouTube, you hit the alert button so that you know when we are dropping content. We drop content weekly, and this week, so make sure if you haven't already, check out the Super Flow Bros podcast, where we talk about Jess Hilarious, Daniel Caesar, scientists trying to play God, and Apple not being innovative, and much more. Make sure you also check out the latest Dust Off the Cartridge, where we discuss the Overwatch playoff preview, the NBA 2K League season coming up, uh, Division 2, the Nindies, the Nintendo Switch indie game presentation of 2019, and much more. Make sure you are following me on Twitter and Instagram at one Marcus Flowers. Make sure you're following Morgan at MetroMeta26. And until next time, peace.